And for our next segment, we're heading to the farm, to a place not far from here, where the future of dairy has arrived.
It has, and this is a future in robot form, a robot that actually milks cows.
Wow.
Yeah, it's video that you don't want to miss. VOA's Steve Baragona takes us to this local farm, and he tells me all about what he saw.
It's a robot and it milks a cow. That's the story. Basically, the cow walks in, the cow comes in whenever it wants.
The robot does all the work. It finds each teat with a laser, cleans it, and attaches a milking tube. It checks the milk for contamination and automatically spits out the rejects. When the flow of milk slows down, the machine knows to stop and send the cow on its way.
How does this affect efficiency at the farm too? Because I mean, you can be milking the entire cow's udder basically at one time.
The system is not fundamentally different from the way that cows are being milked at commercial dairies. Like, they usually just have these kind of vacuum systems where they'll come in and just stick these things on all four udders or all four teats at the same time, and then just milk it all at once. But one of the things that happens is that those things don't stop automatically.
Now, how widespread is this? It seems to me like it's a complicated system. I mean, it's pretty high-level technology. So where have we seen these robots in operation?
They're starting to catch on here in the U.S. I've seen reports of them in Iowa, in Wisconsin, in California, and the big dairy states. New York State has a number of these things. They're not everywhere yet because they're expensive, but they're catching on in the big dairy producers. Australia has them, New Zealand has them, they're Europe. The Europeans actually invented the systems. There are two commercially available systems, and they're both European.
Let's talk about John Fendrick, the farmer that you met with. What's his story? How did he get into farming?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. He's not really a farmer. He's an IT guy. His day job is he's an IT consultant with the National Institutes of Health, and he said he's kind of a handy guy. He likes to fix stuff up, and he bought this old farmhouse about like 19 or 20 years ago. Fixed up the farmhouse, and he's got 10 hectares of land. It's like, well, we've got all this land, better get some animals. So he started raising sheep. And he went to the feed store one day, and a woman working there was like, oh, you like your sheep, you should get a cow. Talked him into raising a cow, loved it. His kids absolutely went crazy for this. They were showing the cow at agricultural fairs.
In watching, I wanted to know, how have the cows responded to this?
The cows seem to love it. I mean, who knows what goes on in the mind of a cow, right? But
yeah.
When you see them in the stall, they're totally cool with it. I mean, they get a little food. I mean, the food is the real incentive for them to come in and get milked. And he said the first couple of times they have to learn that the food is there. But once they know that the food is there, they're like, right on, whatever you want to do, I'm here for you.
What happens if a cow doesn't go in to get milked?
With my phone, I can actually do pretty much everything I normally do over the dairy.
He can find out when each cow milked last and how much she produced. And it will tell him when one has not been in for a while.
We need to go find her and figure out why she hasn't come in yet.
Is this going to then take away jobs? I mean, all these automated processes we're seeing come about, is this going to take away jobs from people?
The robots are coming for us.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, the idea is that this frees you up to do something else. But yeah, I mean, sure, now there are, once you've got the robot, then yeah, you don't need people to milk these things. So the people have to go find something else to do. It's an issue.
What does this say about the future of farming?
Oh, well, I think there's a lot of this kind of mechanization that we're going to see more of. I mean, you see, they're already talking about drones that will keep an eye on your crops. I mean, if you have a big field of corn or something, you can have a drone flying over and keeping an eye on, looking out for pest infestations or disease outbreaks or something. And they can apply, whatever needs to be applied, if there's pesticides or whatever that need to be done, or just tell the farmer, hey, you better do something out in the field because there's something going on out there. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more of this.
Yeah. And Imran, these robots that Steve just showed us, the milking robots, they're not the only ones that farmers are coming up with these days. We've got this wine bot that a French inventor created, and that's designed to help prune grapevines, a herder bot to keep cows in line, and even a tiny flying bee bot to pollinate crops.